Hello, my name is Andy from GS. Today we are going to talk about WiFi's Modular outdoor station T-OS20 and Wi-Fi indoor monitor T-IS16. In this video, I made a brief introduction of the appearances, interfaces, configurations, and applications about these two products. Let's print it on. This is the Wi-Fi indoor monitor. It has 5-inch IPS screen. The resolution of it is 800 by 480. It's almost fully covered by a thin glass panel. All the operations can be done by its touch panel, and the touch button below also indicate the device operation status. At the same time, the touch buttons also allow you to control it quickly, such as pick up the calls, unlock the doors. Especially as to unlock touch buttons, it's more convenient when you need to control the locks from the front door and the garage door by the same engine. The first icon in the middle is the pick up button. When the calls come, just press this button and talk. This icon below is the D&D button. Activate it will mute the call and ring. This icon is unlock 1 for garage, and this is unlock 2 for the door entrance. The I button can monitor the outdoor station and the key. We enter the setting page directly. The speaker is on the button and the microphone is on the top. From the touch screen, we can check the calling records. We can change the wallpapers. We can monitor the outdoor station. We can leave the voice message or turn on D&D. Of course, we can call the apartment as well. One of the most important features of this indoor monitor is that it supports 2-way cloud intercom. We can enter the bind page and then scan the QR code by 2-way app. When the pairing is done, we can receive the calls by mobile phone. On the back of it, a new black cut will come with this monitor. It's thick enough to make sure the bus terminal will not hit the wall when it's installed without wall box. We do have to add a type of black cut which is more suitable for junction box to make a flatter installation. It has some interfaces on the back, and in most of the cases, we just need to connect the bus terminal and turn the dip switches properly. The dip switch on the left is to choose master and slave mode. Only the master units will show the image before pick up the calls. For example, when I turn to the master mode, the monitor will show the image before picking up. When I turn to the slave mode, the monitor will not show the image before picking up. The purpose of this design is to save the power consumption when calling several monitors at the same time. The dip switch on the right is to set the resistor for the bus. Only the last device on each line should turn on resistor switch, which can enhance the video quality when there are many monitors on the line. This is Modular outdoor station T-OS20. Currently, this outdoor station includes 3 different modules. From up to down, they are audio and video module, push button module, cut and information module. It uses a aluminum frame, protection rate up to IP65 and IK7. This is the audio and video module. It's the master component of the Modular outdoor station. It's a 2-megapixel camera with 130-degree view angle. The field light on the right allows it to see the visitors at night. There are 2 calling buttons to make calls to 2 different rooms. It's possible to insert the nameplate to the buttons as well. On the back of this module, there are lots of interfaces. The first part of the interfaces is designed for the external push buttons. The key 1 and key 2 allows you to connect the joint contact buttons to make calls instead of the front buttons, which means it's possible to redesign the outdoor station into customized CNC panels. For example, now I can call the indoor monitor by pressing this button on the outdoor station, and at the same time, I can make the call by pressing this joint contact button as well. The second part of the interfaces on audio and video module is the role of these switches. They have different usage, including the setting of single and double columns from dip 1 to dip 2 on the left, the device adjacent from dip 3 to dip 4 in the middle, and the offset adjacent from dip 1 to dip 8 on the right. You can also find the description below. When either dip 1 or dip 2 on the left is turned on, the outdoor station will be set as dual columns. which means the calling button on the left and the button on the right will call individual apartment numbers. When both DIP1 and DIP2 on the left are turned on, the auto station will be set as single current mode, which means the button on the left and the button on the right will call the same apartment numbers. When both DIP1 and DIP2 are turned off, the buttons on the audio and video module should not be used again. We need to make calls from button modules. Next to DIP1 and DIP2 will be DIP3 and DIP4. They are used for device addressing. For GS2 wireless Android system, it must exist only one outdoor station with the address 1. By turning on DIP3 and turning off DIP4, the address of the outdoor station will become 1. When an additional outdoor station was installed, the second one should use address 2 by turning DIP3 off and turning DIP4 on. All the addresses are based on binary numbers. Currently, maximum 3 pieces of these outdoor stations can be installed in the same 2-wire systems. Next to DIP3 and DIP4, the rest disk switches on the right are used to set the offset addresses. By default, the first push button on the outdoor station always calls apartment 1. With the offset addressing, the calling button 1 could be assigned to other apartment numbers. For example, when pressing the first button without adding any offset address, it will call the apartment 1. When the offset address being 1 from 0, the same button will call apartment number 2. So the final calling number 2 came from basic address 1 plus offset address 1. The third part of these interfaces will be these 3 potentiometers. They can be adjusted by slotted screwdriver. The first port is used to adjust unlock time from 1 second to 10 seconds. The second port is used to adjust speaker value. The last port is used to adjust microphone value. The next part of the interfaces is a row of pins. From left to right, they are bus B, bus A, GND, SW, GS, EL, NC, CON, No, DC minor, and DC plus. Bus A and Bus B are the terminals for the intercom communication between this outdoor station and other 2-wire devices, such as this indoor monitor TI-16. GND is a part of SW, GS, and EL to complete the circuits for the specific functions together. SW and GND are used to connect unlock buttons. GS and GND are connected to door sensor. The alarm will be triggered when the door locks was not closed properly. EL and GND are used to trigger electric door lock without auxiliary power. NC, CON, NO I came out from a common relay which used to control door lock with a auxiliary power supply. DC minor and DC plus are used to connect auxiliary DC 24-volt power supply to make sure the outdoor station will not take too much consumption from bus when the outdoor station comes with a lot of accessory modules. The last part of the interfaces on audio and video module are the terminals for the connection between each modules. All the modules connected by these terminals will be considered as the whole device. Now you may have some ideas about the audio and video module. Please also remember that one modular outdoor station has only one audio and video module. The next module is this push button. It's one of the accessory modules of T-OS22. Yes, 8 buttons. Of course, nameplate is available. What you need to do is just remove the cover of the button and then insert the namecards. On the back of the push button, we got some interfaces as well. The first part of the interfaces on push button module is designed for external push buttons. Kit 1 to Kit 8 allows you to connect the dry contact buttons to call the apartments instead of the front buttons. It's the same scenario where we connect Kit 1 and Kit 2 on audio and video module. The second part of the interfaces is the rows of these switches. DIP1 and DIP2 on the left are reserved without any functions. DIP1 to DIP4 on the right are used to set up the addresses of push button modules. For example, the number 1 push button should turn on DIP1 only. The number 3 push button should turn on both DIP1 and DIP2. All the addresses are based on binary numbers. Maximum 15 pieces push button modules can be connected to one modular outdoor station. The next part of the interfaces of it are the terminals for the connection between each modules. Last module of T-OS20 is Car and Info module. It's another accessory module of the Modular outdoor station. It's simply used for access cars. Nameplates can be inserted as well. By the way, Modular outdoor station supports maximum 200 access cars. Please check the menu for more details about the car registration. On back of it, there are a few interfaces. The first part of the interfaces is the rows of DIT switches. DIT1 and DIT4 are used to set up the addresses. For example, the number 1 car and info module should turn on the DIT1 only. The number 2 car and info module should turn on DIT2 only. All the addresses are based on binary numbers. Maximum 15 pieces car and info modules can be connected to one Modular outdoor station. The next part of the interfaces on car and info module is a row of pins. They used to connect to 34-bit wagon controller. Last part of the interfaces on the module are the terminals for the connection between each modules. That's no different from the previous modules. Next, let's have a look about how to install the Modular outdoor station. It supports flush mounted and surface mounted with different types of frames. What you actually need to do for the installation would be: Step 1. Fit drywall anchors to the wall according to the size of frames. There are 6 screw holes on the frame of T-OS20, so 6 anchors are needed. Step 2. Put the frame boards to the wall. Step 3. Fasten the screws to the frame. Step 4. Connect all the wires that you need. Step 5. Install the modules without any screws. Step 6. Put the cover on the top of frame. Final step, fasten the screw on the cover. Very simple, right? Another very useful feature of this outdoor station T-OS20 is the swappable door locks. Since the door lock interface 1 and door lock interface 2 are suitable to different door locks, by default, the major door lock is using the interface NOCONNC, but the major door lock may not always be the same. In this case, we can use Configuration tool to choose the major door locks. To communicate between this outdoor station and the Configuration tool, the USB interface is required. One side to the bus, and other side to the laptop. Then we can open the tool. First of all, we need to make sure from the options that it's working under T-OS system, and the combo was detected properly. And then we can go to the door lock setting. To select what options will be done when we are trying to unlock the lock 1 and lock 2. You can choose either NOCONNC or ELGND. Of course, they can be triggered at the same time if we want. All the operations effect immediately after any change was made. For example, we can change the lock 2 setting to be NOCONNC. When making call again, the lock 2 button will unlock the major lock. This is everything I want to share with you in this video. See you next time.